All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk lesson 38 today on simplifying expressions using GCF. So before we get into actually finding the GCF, let's do some prime factorization. So remember, prime factorization is breaking down the numbers. We're going to make a factor tree. So what two numbers multiply to 100? You can pick any of the two numbers that multiply to 100. So I picked 10 and 10. I can keep breaking those down to 2 and 5 and 2 and 5. Okay, I can't break 2 or 5 down any further, so I'm going to circle those because they are prime numbers. And now I'm going to write them in order. Now, we could have also looked at 100 and said, hey, 2 and 50. 2 is prime. 50 I can break down into 5 and 10 and break down further. Okay, you'll see you still have all the same numbers, so it really doesn't matter how you break it down. Okay, and then this is your answer, so leave it broken out like that. 51, we're going to break into 3 and 17. 3 doesn't go any further, and neither does 17, so 3 times 17. So prime factorization is just breaking it down as far as you can. We use this to help us find the GCF, because I'm going to look at 24 and break that down. I have 4 and 6, and 4 breaks into 2 and 2, which are both prime. I can't go any further. And 6 is 2 and 3. Can't go any further with those. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite my first expression here, term, out as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And then m to the third, it tells me I have 3 m's, so 1, 2, and 3. And then n to the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my next term, 32, I'm going to break that down into 2 and 16. 2 doesn't go any further. 16 I'm going to break into 4 and 4, and they both go out to 2 and 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. Only one m because there's no exponent, or there's an exponent of 1, I should say. 5 n's, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a p. Okay, so we broke this all apart. So to find the greatest common factor, we're going to find what's the most I can divide out of each of these. So I'm going to circle something. If I can circle it in both of them, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I can take 3 2's out of each of them, and then I can take an m out of each of them, and then I can take out 4 n's. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the most. Okay, so everything I've circled, I'm going to just write down once. So I have 2 and 2, an m, and 1, 2, 3, 4 n's. Okay, so what I have there, this is my GCF, so I'm going to just multiply it all back together. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8 m n to the fourth. So this is my greatest common factor. That's the biggest thing I can divide out of both terms. Okay, here it says factor the GCF. 5 doesn't break down. I have 2 p's, 5 q's, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 2 r's. Okay, 10 breaks into 2 and 5, and those don't go any further, so 2, 5, a p, 2 q's, and 2 r's. Okay, so I'm going to circle what I can take out of both. I can take out a 5 out of both of them. I can take a p out of both of them. 2 q's, and 2 r's. Okay, so I have 5, a p, 2 q's, so I'm going to write that as q squared, and 2 r's, which I'm going to write as r squared. This is the GCF, the greatest common factor. Now, you're probably wondering, like, what do I do with these leftover things here? Okay, we're going to see that here in these next problems. So now the directions have changed. These ones said find the GCF. These ones say factor. So if we are instructed to factor, we are going to find the GCF, but then we're going to do something with those leftover things. So 8 I'm going to break into 2 and 4, 2 and 2. So I have 2, 2, 2, 2 D's, and 3 E's. Okay, 12 I'm going to break into 3 and 4, and 4 breaks into 2 and 2. All right, so 2 2's, and 3 D's, and 2 E's. Okay, so I'm going to circle what I have from both of them. I have 2 2's, I have 2 D's, I have 2 E's. Okay, so same thing as we did before. So we have 4t squared e squared. This is my GCF, but now we're going to finish factoring. So in parentheses, we're going to put what we have left. We have 2e left from the first one, plus, and here I have a 3d. That's factoring it completely. This is where you leave your answer at. Okay, so let's try that again here. 12, let's do 3 and 4. So we have 2, 2, 3. We have 4 x's, 2 y's, and a z. Ooh, 42, 6 and 7. 7 doesn't go any further, but 6 is 2 and 3. So we have 2, 3, 7. We have 3 x's and 3 y's and 2 z's. Okay, so now I'm going to look through. I have a 2 I can circle out of each of them. I have a 3 I can circle out of each of them. I have 3 x's, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I have 2 y's, and I have a z. All right, so 2 times 3, I'm going to have 6. I have x to the third, y squared, and z. That's my greatest common factor. Now we're going to look at what's my leftovers. So I have 2x minus, and here I have a 7, a y, and a z. So there is our solution. We have factored it completely. We took out that GCF. Okay, these ones say factor the expression completely. So these ones now just have a little division with it, but we're going to do the same idea. 6, we're going to break into 2 and 3, and we have an x. 18, we have 3 and 6, and 6 breaks into 2 and 3. So 2, 3, 3, and then it's 2 and a 3. Now we need to be able to take it out of all 3 terms. So the 2 comes out, the 3 will cancel out, oops. So what am I left with? X plus 3. Okay, let's do that again here. 18, we just saw was 3 and 6, and 6 was 2 and 3. So we have a 2, 3, and a 3, an x, plus 45, let's break into 3 and 15 into 3 and 5. So 3, 3, and 5, and 3 x's. And on the bottom, 9, we have 3, 3, and x, okay? So to cancel it, we're going to cancel out of all 3 terms. So it has to come out of everything. And we're left with 2 plus 5x squared for that one. All right, last one's a word problem. To find the formula h equals negative 16t squared plus 60t plus 4 can be used to find the height of an object that's launched in the air from 4 feet off the ground with an initial velocity of 60 feet per second. Rewrite the formula by factoring the right side, so that's this part, using the GCF and making the t squared term positive. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite it down here. And what I want to do is I'm just going to look for what do I have that I can break down. So we're going to break this into a negative 4 and 4. So negative 2, 2, 2, and 2. 60, let's do 6 and 10, 3 and 2, and 2 and 5, and then 2 and 2. Okay, variables, I can't do anything with those t's because there's not enough to come out of each. Okay, so I need to make t squared positive, so I'm going to take out a negative 2. Negative 2, okay, and I'm going to take out another 2 out of each of them, and I'm going to take out negative 4 out of each of them. So negative 16 divided by negative 4, I'm left with 4t squared. Now I'm going to take a positive 60 and divide by a negative 4, so I'm left with a negative 15t. And I have a positive 4, and I'm going to divide out a negative 4, so I'm left with negative 1. There you have it.